We have before us an ordeal of the most grievous kind.
Less than 70 years since the emperor was restored to power, and Japan began to transform itself from an isolated feudal state into Asia's greatest power. But lying beneath this rush to modernity is a deep-seated fear of Western domination.
You ask, what is our policy? I will say it is to wage war by sea, land, and air. We have before us many, many long months of struggle and of suffering.
Like an application form. I was born in Nagasaki in Japan in 1954. And so I'm interested in periods of history, such as Japan just after the Second World War, where moral values did a kind of topsy-turvy.
But I guess the problem for me is, there's often something I need slightly odd to happen to get my story to work. In this particular case, I needed some situation where everybody in the country was suffering. At the beginning, I was drawn towards real historical situations in recent history of communities in conflict.
It's sort of a pressing feeling you seem to have to write something relevant that's international, that deals with the concerns of our time.
By relevance, I mean it's just, I'd like to write the kind of books that people all around the world can relate to. It's as simple as that. I don't imagine for a moment that an international book is a book that is some kind of fiction version of Time or Newsweek. What that means is that at the technical level, you mustn't do things that are too provincial, too culturally bound.
Are you part of a group in Europe, say?
But I don't belong to any kind of conscious group. I don't get round a table with a bunch of people. And I was living with two distinct sets of values. Inside the home, I was being brought up by Japanese parents who saw no reason to particularly adapt to English values because our return to Japan was imminent.
She said a lot of the reason why some Japanese parents don't like it when their kids get married to foreigners is because they're afraid their kids are going to lose their Japanese culture.
I think that has more effect, I think, on my writing. I haven't quite worked it out, but I mean, looking back, I think it's not so much a linguistic thing, but this dual value thing.
It all fits in together, in my opinion.
And so how could we actually find our own identity, given where we live and our traditions? I think more the effect of all that was that it put me. It's more to do with values. National book because it's about emotions and themes that human beings all around the world can relate to. And so I'm interested in certain historical periods, but because it allows me to explore people in that kind of situation.
Often results in something that's not necessarily concise. It's not a summary of the work that's been done thus far. It's something new. You're on new territory. It often tends to be quite loose. It often involves wanting to merge into a continuity in your
I think
culture.
It's important to keep in mind that the culture has grown. I mean, the media landscape has become much more crowded.
Lyrics, very simple melodies, trying to get that sense of the meaning coming behind behind the words or between the lines.
Victory at all costs. Victory in spite of all terror. Victory however long and hard the road may be. For without victory there is no survival. Let that be realized. No survival for the urge and impulse of the ages that mankind will move forward towards its goal. But I take up my task with buoyancy and hope. I feel sure that our cause will not be suffered to fail among men. This time I feel entitled to claim the aid of you. And I say, come then, let us go forward together with our united strength.